Mr. Smith.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm all right. How are you?
Great today.
You say you're what?
Great today. I went out.
I'm glad to hear that you're great. I have a concern that I need to address on the record because I've had my head of security and my criminal clerk come in here today about some inappropriate things that took place in the hallway. When you're in our hallway, sir, and you see people that work at the court or people that are visiting the court for any reason, we're not in the middle of a back alley. We're not outside in the streets. You don't catcall. You don't bother the staff with your personal endeavors. You understand that? If you're here to deal with business here of the court, then you do that. But this is not the time for you to be worried about how good someone looks, what's their name, and hey, who are you? That's not what we do at the court, okay? And don't make the court staff feel uncomfortable, okay? Act professional when you come in here. We do business here. Do you understand that? Okay. On the record on the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Jesse Britt, 24-03663, Council of Fair.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Britt.
There was a date scheduled for a pretrial. I do have here a plea sheet. Is that accurate?
It is, Your Honor. I was under the impression that he may have had time to attach to the file, Your Honor. If not, then we agree will no fund jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a PR bounce. I don't have any time noted here.
I believe he spent at least one night in jail on arrest in this case, Your Honor. Might be the only jail for the years.
I don't even know if that happened. I don't have any record. All I have is that he was seen the day he was booked by the magistrate.
The report does indicate that he was in custody.
Well, where I recognize he was likely in custody. That's not going to be a killable that works.
Okay.
It's something else. Is that what you want to do, Mr. Britt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm assuming he's unemployed. Is that what the issue is? Are you
Yeah.
employed?
No.
Oh, so raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes.
You can put your hand down. You're being charged with one count of trespass here from the 15th. This is on or about the 15th of December, but at approximately 11:58 p.m. So you were getting ready to leave and they asked you to leave?
Yeah, they asked me to leave. I was getting ready to leave, and he said 10 seconds now. And I'm okay. Let me get myself up. And nope, it's over with. Just saying, yeah. And when I couldn't even get a chance to get up, start walking out the door.
And how is that trespassing?
If I can clarify, is it true that the police were called to that apartment because the person there wanted you?
Yeah, the person that actually wanted me to leave. The person had an argument, and the person stood up and told him that I just wanted him to just be quiet and whatever. And they said, well, for me to leave.
Okay, so you were visiting someone
Yeah.
at their home?
Yes, I think.
Okay, and you got into some kind of a disagreement.
Yes.
They asked you to leave?
Not really. They told me to be
It's
quiet.
not really. That's not an answer.
Well,
Did they ask you to leave?
No, they said be quiet.
Okay, so they didn't say I want you to leave my house.
No.
Okay. How? And then they later called the police.
No, they called the police. She called the police and told me to be quiet because we was arguing. And then next thing you know, police told me I'm tired.
Okay, so you called the police because you still were arguing and you wouldn't be quiet.
Yeah, well, I was quiet. Yeah, I got quiet.
Well, you must not have been assuming so because the police.
No, she had called him.
Okay, so she called the police. The police arrived. She says, "I want you to leave."
No,
I want him to leave.
No, the police said I'm tired.
The police was tired.
Yeah, the police said I'm tired, and I got no tolerance or nothing right now. He said, so I'm giving you 10 seconds to get up and leave.
Oh,
so
the police asked you to leave.
Exactly. And
not
so
the
now
person
I'm
who
getting
owns the home.
Right.
Okay. I'm not going to accept the plea. It's not appropriate. We should set it for a final free trial and see if we have a witness.
ready to plead guilty to it.
Well, you can't plead guilty because you just tried to, and the facts don't align with guilt because it's not trespassing just because the police asked you to leave. If you left when they asked you to leave, if the person told you couldn't be there,
What
the person, and you just told me on this record that they didn't tell you that.
I asked a clarifying question, Your Honor. Mr. Britt, had the police been to that apartment earlier in the day?
they came early, I believe, one time.
And when they were there earlier, did they tell you that you had to leave and that if you did not leave, you'd be trespassed?
I guess, yes, I think she did say that. And so I just sit there and then called them again. The police came back and told me I had to leave.
The
because you
police came,
trespassed.
so the police were called earlier the same day to this address, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and they asked you to leave then?
No, they asked me to do that.
Plea failed.
Okay.
Yes.
You can further counsel him, but I'm gonna set it for final pretrial. Because unless he can, he can't tell, he's already told me that the police didn't ask him to leave earlier,
Right.
that they gave him 10 minutes.
No, they had
10
told,
seconds, that is.
well, they had told me, Miss Judge, they had told me I'm trespassed. That's
I
what they
recognize
said.
they did. They told you that when though?
They told me that earlier. They told me that earlier.
They said, so they appeared earlier. What time is earlier?
I guess about, I don't know, was that 10 minutes before that time or then she had called him again because me and her still was kind of
Oh, so
hurt.
the police were called on you twice the same day?
I don't even know. I think they were still there.
The police arrived twice the same day? You spoke to the police twice that day?
No, the police came.
You only spoke to the police once that day?
Yes, that's what I did. But she had called
So how
the
did they
police.
tell you, so how did they tell you earlier to leave if you only spoke to them once?
They had told me, we had told you, because we're getting tired of coming back here.
But stop. Did you talk to them more than once that day? So how did they had told you anything if you hadn't spoke to them earlier that day?
They talked to me. I don't believe that. Yeah, they talked to me. I mean, he has the body cam and everything.
You see what this record reflects? He can't establish a factual basis. Either he doesn't remember the facts, or he's not willing to be forthcoming with the facts, or the facts, as he's stating, don't align with the plea. And if what he's saying sometimes is that you only spoke to one officer once and they told you to leave once and gave you 10 seconds, then that's not a trespass. Now, if they came earlier that day, and you were asked to be removed from the property and then you failed to leave, and then they had to come back, that's different. But you told me you only spoke to the officer once, so I gotta continue to final pretrial. That'll allow, I want the officer and the alleged victim here, person who owns this house, and then that way the parties can flesh out what happened. There's that. If the victim has a different opinion of what happened, then that'll help the prosecutor know how to move forward, okay?
March 11th at 8:15.
March 11th at 8:15.
Hey.
8:15 in the morning, you need to be here. This one matters for the record.
Nothing further.
No, Your Honor.
You're all set, sir.